Okay, welcome to today's live stream. We're going to jump into AI Telemetry today, our application for access control to Red Hat OpenShift Cloud metrics and GPU AI performance metrics within our Mass Open Cloud environment. So currently I can run this application from my VS Code workbench in the Mass Open Cloud environment. So I have this VS Code workbench in the cloud, and I can run this, debug it, and what I see is I see some tenants here. So we have a tenant called Mass Open Cloud, and it goes to this web page for the Mass Open Cloud at Red Hat Research. And another one called in a box, and this is the in a box development documentation. And then we also have clusters. Let's see. Oh, this, let's see, sorry. Looks like we need to update some links here. So let me go and do that. Let me see where, oh yeah, this here, this needs to be cluster and project and hub tenant. All right, so we're doing live development here, so I can update this in VS Code, and if I come back to the site, then we should see those changes. Um, so if I go to AI clusters now, oh, let's see, that didn't go. Let me think here. Whoops. AI telemetry static. Let me see where else we have these issues. So we gotta fix that. Gotta fix that. Sim hub clusters. That should say that. What else? Cluster edit page. And let me fix the instances of this. .js. Java. Okay, I'll clean that up later. But what we should have now is this goes to clusters now. Except I want, I want the page layout where it says AI cluster, AI clusters to say clusters and projects. Oops, keep going there. So clusters and projects, perfect. We're working on the access control for this. These metrics of how GPUs are being utilized across all our clusters. And we're implementing multi-tenancy so that we can have multiple tenants or ACM hubs. Let's see, I got another link to fix here, it looks like. So I go to here, tenant. I definitely need to fix this one to be hub. And I'm going to fix all of these to be /hub place. All right. And now this is a big refactor, but we're coming to the end of this. We still have an instance of hubs, ACM hubs. Let's stop and start this again. Oh, let me make sure no other processes are running. Any duplicate processes are running. All right, let's do this again. Run and debug this application. Okay, now this is working better. Now we have ACM hubs. Oh, it still says tenants here. So let me make one more change to this page layout. Tenants, ACM hubs. Okay. So now we can see ACM hubs. For some reason with the latest WebAwesome components, these columns stopped working correctly. So I need to debug that, but that's not an issue right now. What we're trying to do is implement multi-tenancy. So as an example, we're going to create some foreign key relationships between clusters and hubs. And if I look at an example like where we relate things together inside of AI Telemetry using the Computate code generation software, here's an example here where we create a field in bare metal order.java that relates to a bare metal network by its ID. So I can take this example and I can move it into cluster here, and it's going to be searchable in the search engine with doc values. It's going to be persisted in the database. It's going to have a display name of ACM hub. The description is the name of the ACM hub for this cluster. in Prometheus keycloak proxy, because it needs to have a certain name. It's going to be row 3, cell 1, and we're going to change this to be row 3, cell 2, this to be column 2, because we want to put this in a column as well. I'm going to move this title, this row title up, cluster details. Facet true so that you can filter on this field. And this field is going to be called hub ID. And it's going to relate to the hub model. Let's take a look at the hub model. Let me close others and open up hub.java. So what do we have for var ID? It's this field right here. It's called hub ID. So we need to take this, put it there. And okay, so we used to give a cluster name a unique name based on the name of the cluster. So if we look at our managed clusters in our Mass Open Cloud Infra cluster, for example, we can see them all managed by Red Hat Advanced Cluster Management here. And so there's one called Barcelona, Beta Test, Hypershift 1, NurcoCP OBS, NurcoCP Prod. These are the names of the cluster. However, with multi-tenancy, we got to keep in mind that if you have separate ACM hubs, they may have clusters with the same name, but in different ACM hubs. And in multi-tenancy, we need to be more careful to track clusters by the hub name and the cluster name. But I'm going to leave the cluster name the same, except I'm going to move one thing. So we need to create something new. And for this, I'm going to call it auth resource. And it's also going to be a string. This is going to be the new var ID, the ID variable for this field. So we're going to delete it from here, which means that wherever we mention cluster name, this actually needs to change. So this is going to be auth resource, cluster name. Yeah, we're going to have to change those later on. So cluster name, we're going to import, but the auth resource is going to be based on a few things. So we're going to wrap a value into this field that's going to be string.format. And we're going to put a few things in here separated by dashes. Starting with hub class dot auth resource, which is currently set to uppercase HUB hub. So we're going to specify the hub, and then we specify the hub ID. Now, why are we getting errors here? Let me see. We haven't actually saved this. So we're going to do some code generation at this point. I need to fix these blocking warnings that don't need to appear because I try to make the Computate project be clustered and um, scalable by creating 4 instances of this Computate Code Watcher. But after a day or so, it starts printing those warnings. And even though it doesn't need to, because I know there's a blocking thread, but it's supposed to be blocking. And I gotta get rid of that warning so it doesn't appear. It's kind of annoying. But some code generation is going to happen. Um, so let me save this file and it should generate some code for us, including this hub ID field based on this method that we introduced called underscore hub ID that's protective void that wraps a string value. It's gonna calculate some stuff. Oh, so it says multiple values encountered for non-multi-valued field class var name. So we need to remove var name from here because it only belongs in one place. So we have it here. Um, although we might move it later on. So let me try saving this again and see if we don't get any errors. So this Computate project is kind of validating our code comments. These code comments do vibe coding for us. They generate a bunch of code for us. I want this hub ID. So, okay, so hub ID exists now because it generated that field for us. Still not happy. Constructor must be the first statement in a constructor. This isn't a constructor. What are we doing wrong here? W dot O to wrap this object with a string. Okay, so this is looking good, but we need to add some more stuff to this because we need to add 2 more strings, including the cluster.java's class auth resource and the cluster name, because this class auth resource looks like uppercase cluster, and the cluster name is those names of clusters from the ECM hub we saw earlier. Like here, that's the cluster name. So we got auth resource. Oops. So we save this. Hmm. I might create another one of these. How do we want to name these clusters uniquely? Because if we're searching for a cluster and it doesn't tell us what the hub is, then we're kind of lost. So maybe I'll call this auth name. And here's where we'll make this the var name and get rid of it here. Authorization. Cluster. We're also going to add this authorization resource as hub. Um, auth name 223 full name. complete name. What's a good way to explain this? Unique name. So we could put the cluster name in hub. So this would be cluster name in hub ID. And that would make for us a unique name. Let's save this and then wait for the code generation to happen. And then we will update our API and our database schema. Because if I check db-create hub ID, it exists in the hub, but it doesn't exist in the cluster. So we want it to appear here. And also auth resource. Don't think we need this to persist. And we don't need to persist this either. Okay, so thought I closed. Okay, I'm gonna close Slack. Okay, so then cluster name, auth resource. Okay, we've generated the code. Now we're going to regenerate the API. See, I was just thinking. Yeah, let me regenerate the API and the database scripts. So we run this program and it's going to update our DB create. So now we should have hub ID. Wait, that didn't work. Why didn't that work? Oh, we're not persisting. Wait, we should be. Oh, there it is right there. Hub ID. And it has this foreign key reference to hub ID automatically. And then it'll also update the OpenAPI script or spec. But we need to update our cluster API service simple import process. Auth tenant. This should be hub ID. See, I kind of have this hard coded right now. I want to make this import process so that we can, for every hub, we'll automatically import all the data for every hub, but I haven't gotten that far yet. I'm still kind of hard coding it just to our MOC use case, which is fine for now. But what I need to do is go into this import result and add an additional var in here, and it's already been generated. It's called hub ID, and we add hub ID here. And this should be called hub ID. This should import the hub ID into all of the clusters, which didn't exist before. So I start this. Oh wait, that's gonna rebuild the API again, which we didn't need to do. What we want to do instead is run AI telemetry. So we do this, run, and we're gonna check if the import goes smooth. So if everything went smooth, we should see our clusters now with the new field. Mm, it does have this ACM hub, but I don't see it in the data. So let me check. Hub ID. Oh, um, let me check. I think I saw some errors occur. Put import cluster failed. Error column auth resource does not exist. Um, Auth resource. Oh, that shouldn't be there if that's what it was failing on. So let me stop this and start this again. Too much copy and pasting going on. But we'll try to get this to work. I saw another error occur. Auth resource, importing all cluster data. Wonder why. Let's see. Auth. Cluster ENUS auth resource. Wait, path. Oh, so because, oh yeah, because we reference it here, it's basically, we're basically forcing it to be persisted. Persist, persist. We need to persist this one, and we don't need to persist unique name, but we do need to persist this one. So, um, so here's what we're going to do. String auth resource equals hub ID cluster dot class auth resource cluster name. We're going to add this auth resource as a field and stop and start this. Oh, actually, let's rebuild the AI Telemetry API, which is going to update this to add auth resource as a unique key. And it actually put that in the database. So it updated our schema. Now we can run AI telemetry. And hopefully the import will work this time. Still saw some errors. Importing all cluster data failed. Oh. Duplicate key violates unique constraint. Cluster name, key, cluster name, key. Oh. Yeah, so for this, I think I'm gonna have to go into the database now because we've been changing unique keys, and that's kind of a problem. Let me see. We got people wanting to join the webinar. Join company. Slack. Let's see. Let's go to so okay, so let's do this. Let's go to our database. Workloads, pods, Postgres, terminal. Let's see, bash PSQL-U, AI telemetry, computate. see, how do I connect? SQL, Screz. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. SQL dash U, AI telemetry, computate, AI telemetry, computate. Uh, describe cluster DT. Wait a minute. The heck? This isn't making any sense. Hang on. Wait, get out of there. Let's do PSQL dash U, AI telemetry, computate, AI telemetry, computate, DT. Okay, there we go. So describe cluster, and it's got a field cluster name. It's annoying that it keeps disconnecting, but let me try to do this real fast. Alter table cluster drop. Let's see, wait, actually, let me go into AI telemetry. Cloak users, sign in, computate groups. Let me go in as super admin and hopefully clean this up. Join. Just let me clean up the clusters. Yeah, okay. So I'm actually going to delete all of these clusters. And now no AI cluster found. And then in here, reconnect, select star from cluster, drop, no, alter, table cluster, drop column, cluster name. All right. And then come back here. We need to hide video panel and stop this and start this again. Hopefully, actually, sorry, stop. Let's rebuild the AI telemetry API, which should create the database column that we were missing. So let me see if it appears. If we do \d cluster, should be a new cluster name column. Yeah, there is. All right. And come back here, look at the db create cluster name. it's not unique anymore. And then we can run AI telemetry. Hopefully the import goes well. Let's check. We refresh. We should see clusters. Yes. And yes, we see let's see, did the ACM hub come in there? Let me look. API hub ID. Oh man. Wait. Oh yeah. MOC auth resource is the new unique ID. For some reason, the hub ID is not persisting. Hub ID. Selects hub ID from cluster. It's all empty. So what did we do wrong? Cluster. Hub ID. MLC inbox dev. It is a foreign key relationship. Hmm. You stop this and start this again. Is this going to do it? Check. SQL patch. Because it should be setting the hub ID. So we have JSON object. Set hub ID MOC. So we do come in here, and what's the result of this search? Oh, no. This is a fine-grained access control thing in our imports. So let me think about bare metal node. Yeah, US API service simple. When we import data, need to be able to import this. Well, okay, that's enough. That's enough for now, but we kind of got it imported here with our nodes with some multi-tenancy based on the auth resource. Auth resource. I'm gonna keep working at this to get the hub ID to show up. Anyway.